That was so profound. So I had done a lot of work. I was in therapy working on the ways I wasn't going to be like my father with my boys. Transgenerational trauma, as we talk about it, it's so common, right? I'm like, I'm going to break this cycle. And then my dad gets sick. He had a bunch of back trouble. He had back surgeries. He had rheumatoid arthritis, and he developed pulmonary fibrosis because of COVID. And he started failing, and so we started, all my siblings and I started taking care of him. And I would go in to help my sisters who lived near my dad, help him. He was failing physically. My mother was totally overwhelmed taking care of him. And I did not expect another whole layer of healing to happen in my time spent with him. I felt pretty good about myself. I reconnected with my family. I had a good enough relationship with him, but as he was failing, there was something that got stirred up in me. It was the contrast between the monster of my childhood and this frail old man. He was like 110 pounds. And here I am taking care of this frail man. It was the first time I felt true compassion for him. It was
Wow.
very powerful for me. I was like, oh my goodness, this man now is not the same man who was a monster to me as in my childhood. So I'd go visit him and then I'd write. I'd go visit him and then I'd write. And I'll tell you, not to spoil the story, but we had incredible moments. Oh my God, I can even feel it now at the
Beautiful.
end of life, Heidi, that I never thought in a million years I would be able to experience. Honestly, it was the last words he said to me were the moments that I actually felt love from him for the first time in my life. And it was such a gift for me. I will never, ever forget that, ever. And what
Mm.
ended up happening, which was shocking to me, is feeling the love from someone who hurt me and harmed me so much allowed me to feel love for him, and it allowed me to forgive my father truly from my heart for all that he had done to me. Now, I know everybody doesn't get that opportunity or even choose to forgive someone who has harmed them. I had a gift, right?
Mm.
He said stuff to me that was loving. I was open enough to feel it because
Yes.
of the work I had done. And then the other thing, so loving your perpetrator is one of the most freeing experiences you can have because you're no longer affected at all by it. You're truly free. And the last thing I'll say about this, which was shocking, even more so, was then I was able to forgive myself for what I had done to myself, to my kids, to my ex-wife. So it was in forgiving him that I was enabled to forgive. I enabled myself to forgive me for what I had done. And that was, talk about full circle, because the reality is we've all harmed and we've all been harmed. So this healing journey for me has been spectacular beyond my wildest expectations. And I want everyone to know it is possible for you too. It's possible. If I could do it, you could do it. And I'll devote the rest of my life teaching you how to do it. Healing trauma is about releasing what you're carrying based on what happened to you.
To
You're
you.
carrying stuff that doesn't belong to you that you can release.
I
That's what healing trauma is. Forgiveness is about releasing the relational feelings you have about the person who harmed you. So those are two different things. You can heal trauma and release what you're carrying, and then you make a choice or not to release the feelings you're holding about the relationship with the person who harmed you. The thing that people don't understand is forgiveness is not really about the other person.
mm.
Forgiveness is about you letting go of what you're carrying about them. It's not for them, and it's not condoning what they did.
Mm,
It's you letting go of what you're carrying about them. It's
mm,
still a choice though, right? It's
mm.
always a choice. So I want people to know there's a lot of options, and you can take this to any level and degree that you want to.